call the meeting to order. All rise, pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, all members are present. Approval of the agenda. I don't see any changes to it. Council have any? Seeing and hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Heidi, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Approval of the minutes, January 4th, 2017 regular meeting. Is there any questions, changes, clarification? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the January 4th, 2017 regular meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Yeah, motion by Diane, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Now is our public open forum. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Seeing no one, our public open forum is now closed. We have no public hearings. It now brings us to our reports and presentations. Police Department monthly report. Brian?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Activity report for December 2016, some of the higher numbers we had. We gave out 16 administrative citations for parking, a lot of that for snow stuff, and 2 to 7 a.m. parking. We had 17 false alarms. We had 21 assists for other agencies. We had 54 citizen contacts. We had 7 arrests for small amount marijuana and paraphernalia. We had 11 gas no pays. We had 23 matter of information calls, 23 medicals, 12 motor vehicle accidents, 23 school patrols. We had 14 suspicious calls. We had 8 thefts. We had 3 unwanted person calls. We gave out 262 verbal warnings. And we had 413 calls for a total of 675. So compare that to November, we were up 59 calls. We gave 91 more warnings, so up at 150. Compare that to 2015, we're up 43 calls, gave 70 more warnings, and up 113. So pretty comparable the last few months and years. That's all I have. I think we'll have the total wrap-up for the year report on the February 1st meeting, I think.
Okay.
We'll do that, try to do that.
Sounds good. Anyone else have any questions for Brian?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Planning Commission report. Sarah?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In your packet, on page 12, you have a copy of the agenda. We just had our meeting on January 10th. It was a very short meeting. We will be holding a public hearing next month, the second Tuesday in February, and that public hearing will be specifically about cargo containers and presenting an ordinance or resolution defining and what we'd like to do with cargo containers in our community. And also in that packet, I think you also have a copy of the new homes. I do this report for the Census Bureau. And this year we built 6 new homes, and the total construction value was just over $1 million for those homes. And then for 2016, we did just over $6 million in total construction costs. That's not on your list. And last year, compared to that, we did 9. But last year, the church and the hospital were very big projects. And that is all I have,
Okay,
unless you have questions for me.
questions, comments? Guess not, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Airport Board report?
Okay, the airport board met in their regular session on Wednesday, January 11th. They did elect officers for the 2017 calendar year. They have some ongoing discussion on some warranty issues with that pump. If you recall, we put the new fueling system last year out at the airport. We continue to have some issues with the belts breaking on those. We did find that our fuel sales are kind of still on track as what we expected, even though we've had some issues with the pumps. We discussed some lease language for non-aeronautical use of hangars. The FAA is, starting in July, is going to allow some of that non-aeronautical use. And if we have an agreement in place, it won't violate our encumbrances for our federal money. So that's always been the issue in the past. You can't have anything non-aeronautical in there, or it would jeopardize your ability to receive federal funding for the airport project. And then we did review the construction dates for the runway project. They have 60 working days to get that done. They'll be starting in May and hopefully be completely wrapped up in the beginning of August. So that's the total runway project, which is runway reconstruct, turnarounds, the new lights, the rails, the pappies, the apron, everything complete. So we hope to have that all done by August this year. And we did receive a request for transfer of our 2017 FAA dollars to another airport to be repaid in 2020. And I think that's something the airport board's going to recommend that we do, because we do this big project. You know, we don't have another big project right away, so if we can get that money in 2020 instead, it might work into our relocation of the crosswind grass runway. Also, the Minnesota Council of Airports annual conference in Mankato on April 12th to 14th. And it's even open to one of the council members. If you wish to learn more about airports, you could go to attend that annual conference. And also, we talked about there's ongoing development of rules pertaining to unmanned aircraft or drones, because they're becoming more and more popular. Commercial already has some rules, residential not so much, or hobbyists, but there are rules out there. So they're talking about ways to get the word out. You can't just go flying around the neighborhood taking pictures. It violates all kinds of laws. And then also, we'll be reaching out to the 99s Club to repaint the compass rose after construction. And the compass rose is how they'll calibrate their north, south, east, west. And if you ever see an airport from the air, you can see that painted on the apron. And that's really not part of our project. The 99s Club is a club that started after World War II. And that's what they do, is they go around and they put these compass roses at airports, and they volunteer all their time and the layout, and we just buy the paint. So we'll be looking at doing that. And that's the activity of the airport.
Questions? Comments? Okay, thank you. And then move on to our action items. 7A, approved library agreement with GRRL.
GRRL is the Great River Regional Library System, which the City of Sauk Center's library is a part of. The policy committee met on Tuesday, January 3rd, and we reviewed the proposed updated agreement with them, which outlines how they provide services, what they're responsible for, and what we are. Our existing agreement was dated in 1990 when we first got in business with GRRL. The agreement does state briefly, that the GRL, they provide the books, the staff, and everything for the operation of the library, and the city takes care of the building, furniture, maintenance, that type of thing. So that's just so you understand exactly how that library works. And then also, you have Exhibit C, the facility map that I updated and put in front of you tonight, that kind of shows what areas library use and what isn't. So you've got the entire upstairs is library use, and the lower level has a city use, which is the mechanical and the furnace room. It has the historical society use, and then it's got the rest is common area with a small exception. There's a library storage building and book drop in the meeting room, and then Friends of the Library has a little closet in there. And give you an idea that that's, when we talk about the library use, it's mostly the upper level that we're talking about, although we do maintain the entire building. And one of the things that the committee did state was, we'd been allowing some storage in the furnace room, and it kind of gets out of control. And so their recommendation is we just leave that city only, and we don't allow extra storage to occur in the storage room. And then, of course, they did recommend the updated floor plan, which I provided you tonight. And then also I have the updated list of the inventory. And the inventory in the library is things like, we own the shelves and the tables and the chairs and all those things upstairs in the library. We don't own the computers and we don't own the books. Most of our books have been rotated out of the system because anything that was ours as of 1990, those books have kind of rotated out. So we'll have that final, we have to go over and make a count one more time to make sure we got all the furniture and shelves and everything on our list, and then we'll be ready to go on that. So what there was one part in the agreement that the committee also stated was just to make sure we're very clear when we're talking about this agreement, when it talks about the library and in their policies, that we're talking about the upper level, which is the library area. And that then, of course, if you'll see in there, we're responsible for developing the rules for the use of the common area meeting room. So we'll be back at developing kind of a rental policy for that. And it'll probably be similar to what we are right now. The library maintains that so that we don't get duplication of rental. If the Historical Society wants to use that room, they just make sure the library doesn't have someone else in there and then they can use it. Or if the Boy Scouts or anybody wants to do it. So we'll probably kind of continue along that same line for use of that room, but we're just going to put it in writing, and that's part of our agreement here that we'll do that. I don't know, Dave and Heidi, did I miss anything?
It's covered.
Okay.
Yep.
It's covered.
So what we're looking for tonight then is to approve the library branch agreement with that storage stipulation about the mechanical room. We've updated the floor plan use, and then the listing of the city-owned equipment. So that's what we're looking for approval for tonight.
So we were storing stuff in the furnace room?
The furnace room is actually quite large, and there was some shelving in there, and the Historical Society had some things in there, and the library had some things in there. Everybody's pretty crammed in that building. There's not a lot of extra space. And then it kind of got to be a little bit of a turf war, and things were growing, I would say. So we just said, you know what, let's just not do it.
One of the things when we met on that, Vicki, that we discussed was we needed to keep that furnace room open for maintenance.
There was an issue with the
Right.
elevator repair guy being able to get to the elevator room because there was things piled in the way, and that was kind of what started this.
All right. Okay, any other comments, questions? Otherwise, I'll be looking for a motion to approve library branch agreement with storage stipulation, updated floor plan use area, and listing of city-owned equipment and furniture.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion by Diane. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. Any other comments, questions? Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7B, approve vacant land purchase agreement, Sauk Center Multifamily LLC.
Okay, this is the vacant land purchase and option agreement, and this is for the property that we are working with Sauk Center Multifamily on building the apartment building north of town. And Corey Gerards is here tonight, and so I wanted to introduce him to you, and he's got some pictures and different things here that he might want to show you. But we'll kind of go through the purchase agreement, which is what the action item is for tonight. And you've all been provided that. There is a couple small changes to the purchase agreement after review by our city attorney, and I'll point those out to you right now so that you have those. One of them is on page 2 of the agreement where it talks to utility infrastructure. The language that was in there says that the city shall pay all costs associated with the installation of utility infrastructure to be made available to the property, including without limitation, water, sanitary, sewer, and electric. However, notwithstanding the foregoing, the developer shall be financially responsible for installation of such infrastructure on the property. So we get it to the property, he takes it the rest of the way. And then after the city attorney reviewed it, he said he would prefer to have taking out there, instead of calling it such infrastructure, he would put water, sanitary sewer, and electric service lines running from the mains to and over the property are the responsibility of the developer. So really just wording, but he wanted to be very, very clear that we bring it to it, you take it the rest of the way. So that was one change that he had recommended. And the other recommendation is also kind of a small one, but it had to do on page 10, item 27, which talked about a 1031 exchange. We just added the language that developer is solely responsible for any and all costs and expenses relative to such an exchange. And then also added a 20 brokerage fees that we acknowledge that we haven't, neither of us are hiring a broker, so there aren't any real estate fees to be paid. So those are the things that are in the purchase agreement tonight, and keep in mind, this purchase agreement is how we get the land to the developer, and then we have the business subsidy agreement is how do we develop the land. So this purchase agreement kind of lays out, we're going to sell him the land, he has options to purchase the next one, we agree to do a business subsidy agreement, we agree to do a minimum assessment agreement, we agree to the utility issues, and then, so we have the purchase agreement, and before we close, before there's ever a deed or a closing, then we finalize the business subsidy agreement. And for the developer in this case, it's more like he agrees to construct in a certain timeline and a certain value of property. Because in this particular case, it's an abatement project and the abatement dollars are coming right back to the city. So we're paying ourselves back for our upfront costs to make this project happen. So all that's in the business subsidy. In August, I believe you had all those terms, so you're familiar with that. I just wanted to clarify that this is the purchase agreement. It talks about the land. The business subsidy agreement talks about development of the land. And they're all tied together, and they all get finalized on the same date. So what we're looking for tonight is just to authorize the mayor and myself to execute this contract, and then we get the developer to go, and in fact, we're setting up a meeting for early next week with the civil engineer side of it, and the architects, I believe, so we're all moving forward quite rapidly at this point. But it's been over a year already. It's hard to believe, So with that action, then, if you would like, after you're done with that, if you wanted to speak with Corey, or if you want to talk with him after the meeting, either one is fine.
Okay. Questions? Comments? Any concerns? Do I have a motion to authorize the execution of the vacant land purchase agreement?
So moved.
A motion by Dave. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi. Any other questions? Comments? Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor. Do you want to take a moment and speak about the project now, or and we could still talk to him afterwards if he wants to?
Either or is fine with me.
Okay, I'll let you have a few moments. Thank you.
Yeah, my name's Corey Garretts with Alliance, President of Alliance Building Corporation. I think I've spoke with some familiar faces, maybe some new ones. The proposal is a 2-phase proposal. It is 39 units in the first phase with an additional 18 in the second phase. We're developing the property that we've just voted on tonight with an option for us to extend to, we're calling it basically phase 3 and 4, which would be, after we ran the calculations, probably another 20 units if possible, because we are limited by the density that we have being so close to the lake. Mm-hmm. So, but the property actually lays out quite well. We've kind of moved it, tweaked it, changed it a few different times to best fit, to maximize the property and to make the flow work well. It sounds like we're on track with the utility side of things with the city, and we're going to be ready to go right away in the springtime. So we're actually planning to bid our side of things at the same February timeframe that the utilities will be bid. So we're excited, and we actually were here last week, I believe it was. We were meeting with a few local financial institutions, trying to pull together our finance side of things and continue that side of it, as well as developing the plans. And like Vicki said, we're hoping to get a meeting together with the city engineer, our architect, our civil engineer, and actually pull in the watershed district, just so that we're all on the same page, so there aren't any unknowns that come up at the last minute and delay the project at all. So we're excited to come to Sauk Center. We're excited to start right away in the spring and get this thing going. We're hearing some really positive feedback, so we really want to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone have any questions for Corey? This is just for the public's input, their view. This isn't your first venture in this. You've put apartment houses in other communities.
Yeah, actually, I should mention, the last project we came into was the city of Painesville, and it's a very similar, almost identical situation with Sauk Center, where we entered into a subsidy agreement and a land purchase, and Painesville was real helpful with steering us to kind of where they would like to see us come in, and actually we just got word that we rented the thing 100% as of last week, so we had 29 units in that phase, and with another 23. And we're actually hoping to maybe break ground in late fall of this year on the second phase of Painesville. So, yeah, and then we've also, Alliance has been involved with several apartment buildings in and around the St. Cloud area, Waite Park. We've done some assisted livings. We're in the process right now of building a big assisted living facility in St. Cloud. The name's Country Manor. I'm sure you probably heard of them before. We're building a brand new campus for them in the city of St. Joseph right now. So we've got a lot of things going, and we've got a lot of experience in this, and we feel we have a pretty good handle of what we're doing and what the market bears. And so, like I said, we're excited to come to town and provide probably a product that's been sought after for a while here in Sauk Center. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
7C, approve resolutions 2017-05 authorizing solicitation of quotes for phone system.
The 2017 budget provides for the purchase and installation of a new phone system at City Hall. This has been in the capital improvement plan actually since 2006. We just kept putting it off, and finally 2017. In order to get phones now, if we have a problem with our phone, we have to go on eBay and try to find something. So we thought it was time maybe for an upgrade. The estimated cost, as I said, is $15,000. We did identify several companies that could be potential vendors, and we gave them an inventory of our existing system and what we're looking for in a new system, and then we've also advertised it. So we will have a total of 20 phones is what we're talking to. So you had 20 phones plus the system plus everything that goes with it to get it set up. So what we're looking for tonight is to approve the resolution actually authorizing solicitation of the quotes for the phone system. Then that comes back. I imagine we would probably get together with Operations Committee to go over those before we brought them back to the City Council, and hopefully sometime this spring we would have a new phone system here at City Hall. So.
All right. Questions? Concerns? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve resolution 2017-05 authorizing solicitation of quotes for phone system?
So moved.
We have a motion by Keith. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Diane. Any other questions? Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7D, approve ambulance EMT promotion.
Amy Goodwin has been with a probationary EMT with the Sauk Center Ambulance Service, and she has met her patient contacts and also her other responsibilities. So Ambulance Director Kathy Strufert recommends that she be promoted to an EMT1 with the appropriate pay increase up from a probationary EMT effective immediately, granting Amy the full privileges and responsibilities of an EMT with the Sauk Center Ambulance Service. So our action requested is to approve the promotion of Amy Goodwin to EMT1 effective immediately.
Questions? Do I have a motion to approve the promotion of Amy Goodwin?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Dave. Do I have a second? By Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Approve resolution 2017-06 designating authorized representative WMMPA.
WMMPA is the Western Minnesota Municipal Power Agency, and if you require, we had a meeting about a year ago, and we had representatives from Missouri River and the whole configuration of how the city purchases power and the groups that we're a part of. At that time, we designated Dennis Ricken as the president of the public utility and Paul Hessian as the superintendent of the utility, as Paul is actually the representative and Dennis was the alternate. To go to those meetings and represent the city. And they require a resolution to make a change in the designation, and Ted Spanier is the new president of the PUC, and so we're recommending the resolution appointing him as the alternate, leaving Paul as the main designee.
Questions? Comments? Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 2017-06, designating authorized representative Ted Spanier?
So moved.
We have a motion by Keith. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Accept resignations from Sauk Center Fire Department.
We have 2 attached resignations, or retirements, I should say, from the Sauk Center Fire Department. They are Brad Kirkhoff and Keith Polipnik. They both entered the fire department on June 1st, 1995, and they both left the department on January 6th, 2017. So, and I did include in your packet, both of them, very nice letters that they wrote thanking the city and the time that they spent in the fire department. And so tonight, we're requesting to accept the resignations of Keith Polipnik and Brad Kirkhoff from the Sauk Center Fire Department effective January 6th, 2017.
Comments, questions? I want to thank both of them for their years of service on behalf of the city, and that they'll both definitely be missed, and we've been one of the lucky cities to have a waiting list to have people move into them open spots when this does happen. So thank you from the city to both of you. Do I have a motion to accept the resignations of Keith Polipnik and Brad Kirkhoff from the Sauk Center Fire Department effective January 6, 2017?
I will regretfully make that motion.
We have a motion by Keith. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. Any other comments? Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7G, Senior Center Board Appointment.
We do have openings on the Sauk Center Senior Center Board. We had 2 members that terms expired on December 31st of 2016. That was Pat Scherf and Lorraine Peschel. And we do have 1 applicant to serve on the board, and that is Rudy Belke. So we're asking to appoint Rudy Belke to the Senior Center Board for a 3-year term, which will be effective now and expiring on December 31st, 2019.
Questions? Comments? Do I have a motion to appoint Rudy Belke to the Senior Center Board starting today and expiring December 31st, 2019?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Heidi. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. We have no unfinished business. We have no new business. That brings us to our consent agenda. We have a schedule of claims, unpaid claims of $20,703.72, paid claims of $8,196, for a total of $28,889.72. We have December checks totaling $544,645.70. We have a gambling application for exempt permit request from Holy Family School for a raffle on March 5th, 2017 at Holy Family School. And we have the 2016 contribution list from all the organizations and individuals that have contributed money or in-kind services to the city in 2016. And that list will be published in the Sauk Center Herald for everyone to be able to see. And again, I want to thank all those organizations and individuals for their contributions. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented?
So moved.
A motion by Dave. Do I have a second?
A second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Informational items, HRA opening.
And just to let everybody know that, the HRA, they're on a different fiscal year than we are. And so they have the term of Mickey Welly will expire on March 31st, 2017. So if anybody's interested in serving on the HRA board, they're welcome to apply to fill that position. This is a 5-year term. So it's the only one that's almost meets the EDA. The EDA is a 6-year term. This is a 5. Everything else is somewhat less. So if you know anybody interested, I'll have them come in and fill out a request.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to the end of our agenda. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to
We
adjourn.
have a motion by Dave. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Meeting adjourned.